which is not that far from where he lives, just around the M25 motorway. And that just goes to show that those big barrels from Big Wes can all be fit in the same segment.
He kind of needed a big visit there.
57. Wesley, you require 8.
Scott is still within striking distance if there's a mistake. There's no mistake. Double 2 does the job again.
It just costs Scott maybe a little too much.
51 and bull. 51 and bull for a 108. Wesley Plaisier misses a second match dart. There has been nothing even faintly resembling this sort of checkout in this match so far, and we're not going to see it here, and so Plaisier will get more match darts, but he's going to have to burn one to get to a double.
He's got to get this single. In these spots, this single 9 is not easy. Made it look easy. Last shot. Match dart 4 is not simple, but it's in. Wesley Plaisier is the first person to win on board number 2.
Martin Schindler changed the other way. His darts always stood up in the board like Rusty's do now, and he wanted to throw like Phil Taylor, and he thought, well, now's the time to do it. Had a spell do it, playing the home tour throwing like that, and then decided, you know what, that's not for me. Went back to his old style and became a better player. Rusty's not going to take the 170, and Ron Meulenkamp could wrap this up.
You require 108.
With that board flexibility, he can go anywhere he wants for this. 17s, 19s, 18s, 20s. Which one do you want, Ron? That'll do. How about double 16 this time? To win and to play Josh Payne in round 2.
That is excellent from Ron Meulenkamp. He lost the first leg, won the next 6, and
if you don't put him away.
Oh, is he going for it? He is going for it.
139.
That's a bit like Thierry Henry getting the ball at halfway and said, oh, I'll have a crack.
And ultimately, he's made it more difficult. He has lessened his chances of winning this leg by going for that bullseye. Double 8. Double 4. And there it is. Double 4 is found by Thibaut Tricol. 4 legs on the spin. Another one against the darts.
Big moulded flight there. He's not going for the 60 anymore. He's going to hit the flight to try and nestle it in, just like this.
140.
Notice how that third one went over the top. That's because he wasn't going for the 60.
It was a bit like when he was going for tops earlier on, wasn't he? He felt the marker was there. I just need to hit the flights. It's a bigger target, and it will just slide down the barrel into the target area.
That's the thought process behind someone like Dimitri Vandenberg going to the right and using the stem as well as a backboard. But that's a wonderful out from Van Dongen, and he needed something like that to feel like he's back in the match. I'm going to use that word that John Part doesn't like. It should go the distance. What John would rather say is, it could. Because if Van Dongen hits double 10, it's going to be 6-5 either way.
100. Jones require 20.
Thibaut spitting French furies at himself as Van Dongen pins the double 10 to take us all the way.
He's 121 to win what's been a fascinating match.
He took out a 1-2-4 for a 12 darter earlier on in this game. That is what sparked the fight back for Jules Van Dongen, but he's going to have to pretty much repeat the trick. It's still on, treble 17. He cannot get it, and Tricol gets match darts.
He really has stuck to his task brilliantly here. He only has one more job to do. Double 18. Double 9.
27.
My word. They were edgy.
Will he be punished? Great dart, double 8. Double 4. And Jules Van Dongen has also missed match darts, head in hands. Tricol missed 3, Van Dongen's missed 2. Tricol will only get maximum 2 more here.
Good single. Can he hit 4s? He does what Jules could not, and he wins a very Thibaut Tricol encounter by 6 legs to 5.
150.
150 required for Lorby. not going to go. But that poor visit from Rafferty
121.
means that this is certainly not a gimme.
Bullseye.
74.
That was to equalise again for Rafferty, who was clinging on for dear life in this game.
60.
But Danny could have distance.
20 for tops. Ignore the scoreboard. It's got no relevance to what's going on. That has, though. It is 5-3. Danny Lorby is a leg away.
But he'd love to leave 60.
60. Danny require 124.
But this really could have been a lot easier for the match. He doesn't get a shot at the bull. And that double that has been so good
92.
to Nathan Rafferty in this game has got to be available to be hit right here.
He might need two of them. He will need two of them. And he can't get them. Match starts Danny Lorby, double 16 for a 6-3 victory. Straight in, no problem. Jules Van Dongen couldn't do it, but one of the USA's... That isn't really an issue, because they have a whole system set up for their police employees, where if they are elite level sports people, they can basically take all the time off they want to go and pursue that. I think something like the vast majority of their speed skaters, which is quite big over in Germany, they're all part of the police force. So that's not a problem for Pascal, it would seem.
I think that's a great system.
I'll tell you what, you wouldn't go shoplifting when it's icy around Germany, would you? Because they'll be right after you as Geert Nenches takes double 18 out for a 2-1 lead. You might lose the leg.
These are the legs that really you do like. If you can win them. You see your opponent hitting two maximums, you think, well, I can steal this. But the fact that he's not able to gives Ruprecht a second bite of the cherry. But he doesn't find it.
Yeah, you require 41.
And Nenches, he went treble 13 to lead tops, and because he didn't get the treble, he then left himself a problem to try and get to a double. He's going to have to use a dart to get to the double. It's cost him a dart going that route. It did not matter in the end, and ultimately he now leads 4-1. And that
being at the UK Open, playing a great Dutch player like Nenches, I'm not even sure this young lad sweats. He might be sweating in a second, because this is a match opportunity for Nenches.
145.
It is an opportunity. It's a slim one. Too slim.
43. Pascal, you require 4.
Double two got a bit of action earlier in one of our previous matches with Tricol and Van Dongen. But it's double one this time. Well, it was actually Plaisir game, wasn't it? Yeah, 4 double twos in that game.
Yeah, he will, if he's outside the top 64, he will be allowed to compete in that if he's in his first 2 years of the tour card.
96.
I've changed the rules for that in the last year or so for those.
The right thing to do.
Yeah. Well, you go and tell Jeff Smith and Matt Campbell that about the North American Championship.
Let's not get too political. It's only Friday afternoon. This is a match chance. It's a match dart. It's a match win for Geert Nenches. What a great way to finish that was.
Yeah, Wessel Nijman, one of the young Dutch players, beat David Sumner, who's one of the Riley's qualifiers. Nijman, he'll have to play a second round game, but if he can win that, it'd be Mike De Decker for him in round 3. I think that could be a really, really good game.
I agree.
50.
He's really good, Nijman.
127.
Really good. This could be really good. 127. And game. Done the hard way. And a little bit of aggression from the South Walian. He hits over the right side of that treble 20. He's going to cover it with the stem and the flight. If he goes over the top on the left, still got plenty of bed to aim.
146.
Yeah, so one thing you don't often see from this particular camera angle, you see from which way it's kicking, left or right. You can see on the vertical axis, but less so on the horizontal axis. And Sedlacek has left himself a one treble combo, but that's a great looking dart for Robert Owen. And he finds the treble to leave tops. And he finds tops again for a 160 finish. Robert Owen goes 4-2 up.
His second game of the day, and you mentioned earlier, Dan, that Dennett played exceptionally well. One of the best averages in round one to get to that game with Danny, but he's not needing that high 90 stuff against Van Tripe at the minute. In fact, a 79 average is good enough for a 3-leg advantage.
Yeah, the Hurrell one's surprising. He started his life as a tour guide holder very well, James Hurrell. Been good on the Pro Tour, but despite a 90 average, 3-1 down to the Riley's qualifier, Joe Croft.
Just got his first leg because he was 3-0 down, so maybe a comeback is on for Hillbilly Hurrell. As for Owen, he finishes it off in style. A wonderful finish, and he was the better player of the two in that match. We did see Ron Muhlenkamp on this board earlier on. He's currently 2-0 up on Josh Payne.
65.
Good leg of dart assist from Bartons, but Clayton is right there with him. Look at him go. Could leave 52.
140.
In the end, leaves 92. He's been quite good at getting a couple of darts at double from finishes of that range, but he may not be allowed back to the board. Double top.
76.
When he misses, it's close.
92.
Doesn't seem to have that wild miss in his armory at the minute. That's 4, so 88 left. And he's got it as well. What a recovery from Clayton.
Something is Brett to throw first. Game.
Take it from me, Brett. They work very, very well.
108.
Well, he needed 3 big trebles to get to a finish. Brett Clayton has delivered. That means Barton's got to go for this. And he does not get another bull finish. That would have taken us to a last leg decider. This is a big ask, but it is possible.
It's still on. That was so close. For an effort at 3:23 and 6. But this must go. Double 8 for Bartons. He was walking again on dart 3, and he might pay the ultimate price.
Brett Clayton to knock the Lakeside World Champion out in round 2 of the UK Open. He'd never won a game at the UK Open before coming here today. And Brett Clayton's won 2 back-to-back, including beating the Belgian Bartons. A 6-4 win. He holds off the fight back. And last year, he defended his Groundhog Open title.
I think we've got to up our game, you know. I think the Americans have got this one nailed.
Oh.
81. And you require 84.
Marvellous stuff. It's marvellous stuff from Leonard Gates here. Double 12. Is there. This is proper stuff from Leonard Gates. That involves doing some mental arithmetic. Now he can go for the treble, and he can't get it.
So ironic, isn't it? He gets 2 in one visit, he gets none in the next.
Require 65.
Earlier on, we saw Connor Scott take this with treble 19 first. And that's one of the reasons why Connor went for treble 19. It's a lovely conversion, though, from Reese.
Because he'll get punished eventually, but cannot stop hitting treble 20.
I maintain there's definitely a little tweak gone on here with either the equipment or the grip, because they're going in flatter. And it looks like a slightly shorter setup as well. He's one of those players who tends to use the add-on weight in the middle of the setup as well, like Steve Hine used to do, and still does actually. But it's the bullseye for Gates for 4-2. Bingo, right in the middle. That's a wonderful shot.
More and more difficult for Reese Griffin there. He was blocking his path to the treble. In the end, he goes into the 1 segment. He's still on a 2-darter, but Gates has got a chance. Needs a treble. Does not get it. Reese Griffin, 97 points to break the throw.
52. They should have gone 97.
This could have been a lot easier, but it's still a 2-darter. Look on the bright side. 78 with 2. There's an argument that he should have gone for double 19 for double top, but it's entirely up to Gates now to open the floodgates.
He's missed a lot of doubles in this game. But he does not miss the double 10, and Leonard Gates, a stupendous scoring display.
Someone like Michael van Gerwen, who has won 3 Premier League nights in the last 4 weeks. He's averaging more in Players' Championships than MVG. And it's a fair assessment. It's the same venues, and Martin's played 11 games to Michael's 9, but he's ahead of him average-wise this season, which tells you everything you need to know. Now, is Watamina about to take the lead against said player ball? That's a terrible dart. That's not.
He's got little spells this. Lootman started brighter. Watamina took control, and Lootman's now hitting back. But he's not going to take the 130.
94.
Big moments, this. Ooh, could happen. On the ball. Oh, very nearly.
That would have been so filthy that it needed a pressure washer.
Well, Lootman does come back to the board and pins double 18, and there's the shake of the fist as Lootman levels things up.
He's on the 141 after the max. It's just a question of whether he actually gets a look at what he's leaving now, because Lootman masterfully won 3-9 to leave this, and he could use it. Oh, it could have been its full effect, you know. That would have been some climax.
Smashes his fist into his hand. That's only just in the 16. Double 10. Watamina pins it. We are going the distance. Great contest. The best game of the afternoon so far. These 2 visits from here for Martin Lootman to win and put himself in the hat for the 4th round tonight. Could he win it on the bull? He went for it. He shouldn't have gone for it. And now he's thinking, I've just made the task a little bit harder.
Well, at least he had a small number, which means he's still got options of whatever he wants to leave, but it's double 16 to be in the hat. He's in the hat! What a great game of darts that was. And Jermaine Watamina salutes what is a brilliant 11-leg contest. Same colour scheme. He's always got that coloured shirt on. He's always got the matching flights. Barrels haven't changed a bit. He has a formula that he's comfortable with. He doesn't want to change it.
Looking to make the Wizard feel a little uncomfortable here. Bullseye would level the game.
96.
Similar shot for Simon Whitlock, but he gets to stay on the 18 segment. Ooh, can he find another? That leaves the ball. And the Wizard pins it. Crucial shot from the Australian. He doesn't take it out in the next visit. Kyvenhoven may well be on the same.
I think this is a very encouraging display from Whitlock. There's a lot of really good assured shots coming in here. This will be another one. Double 10 again. Not this time, and he knows that that could be painful. Magnified by this shot from Mike.
Mike Kyvenhoven has levelled up this match. Whitlock purposefully left the 170. He's not going to take it out. He does get 1 treble, but Kyvenhoven, the maximum, has given him a little sniff.
Well, that was a Lootman style safe 20 there.
57.
No big treble and no big reaction to that, as Whitlock tries to take 76 before Kyvenhoven gets a chance at it. Double 18. Same height. Brilliantly done. If you think that's an accident, think again.
To a better finish, but it's not that much better, to be honest, Mike Kyvenhoven. It's still Whitlock's. He could win it right now. He needed the treble 20 for a go at the bullseye, but he pins the bullseye last dart to leave tops for the match.
If this goes, this will be excruciating. No good first start, meaning Whitlock gets 1 visit to finish this off. 3 clean darts at tops to be in the Wizard hat.
Mike Kyvenhoven did so well to battle back into this game, but he's faltered right at the end. And the Wizard wants double 10 and cannot find it, but Kyvenhoven's nightmare visit in the previous turn means he's still got a huge mountain to climb.
If we'd said 130 for the match, very doable. 131 is just one more point, but it's so much harder. 51 tops. There you go. After one miss on a 130 in a single, you can still take it, but with 131 you can't.
Whitlock has missed doubles in this match, 16 of them in total. But he doesn't miss again, and the Wizard wins it in a last leg decider. Simon Whitlock, the two-time quarter-finalist, is through to round 4. But Nyman was right up there with him. And Nyman against Littler as well. Beat him more often than not.
Oh, John. Well, had he been sitting on Van Veen's score, he would have had a shot at double.
January requires 64.
It's a bad miss, that, isn't it? He's gone for the fat part of the 16 and not even hit it. That's where John Henderson's dart should have been. And Van Veen makes him pay. 64 check out, one dart at double is all he needs. It's 2-0 and the breaker throw. Two tops. Can't find him, and Van Veen's going to look at the 120 again.
79.
Well, that was a good expression from Hendo, as if someone gave him an extra strength polo mint.
Two balls again. No, he did try and barrel his way through.
88. John, you require 20.
Word of the wise, Mr. Van Veen. Don't leave 120. It just doesn't seem to work for you. Will this work for Hendo? This is for a break of throw. They can start the match. And it's in from the world senior champ. 74 for 4-2 then. Nothing in his way for tops.
54.
This chance could have been a lot simpler. Only 32 scored with his last three. He needs to score 70 more with a double at the end to get 3-3. Well, that dart there for treble 14 is probably as bad as the previous visit.
82.
Yeah, some real messy stuff there from Hendo. And Van Veen finds double 10 to break back immediately. And just when John Henderson seemed to be getting back into the match and Van Veen was fading, Hendo has had a couple of poor visits back to back.
Bullseye was the call there. 25 would have left 96. But that's 30, which leaves 31. Now, this 15 is not easy. That's a brilliant dart. Got past his own flight for a match shot at double 8.
45.
Two legs running now. Jan Van Veen has missed a dart to win the match. Henderson to keep himself in the tournament. He can still do this. Treble 20 for double 18. He gets the treble. But clicks the wire of the double 18, and that is probably that.
And that is that. As Jan Van Veen goes through to the hat. A little bit harder, and you've got to grind a little deeper as well to get what Andrew Gilding got last year and what other people have got as well.
429. Come here to 150.
Stay there, surely. I think it was the right shot. He's a little bit unfortunate. Couldn't find another one in the treble 20.
Well, on the bright side, you'd rather get treble 4 in that spot instead of single 4. However, you'd prefer tops on a 125. Somebody's starting to warm up. He wasn't playing this well at the start of his previous game on this stage earlier. Well, this would be something. Cammy. Oh my, that was some effort for a 3-1-6 in 6.
5 consecutive treble 20s, couldn't find the double 8, and Tebow to shut the door in his face. Single 16. Leaves double top.
24.
Oh, it's close. But Menzies is given another crack.
Double 2. Frenzy, frenzy, frenzy. One thing I really like about this action that Cameron's always had. It's compact.
91.
It's very repetitive. He doesn't tend to fling any darts away in anger. Everything is thrown with purpose.
41.
Great rhythm.
36.
One prod back and through every single time. And another chance at a 136. And this one he takes.
62 left. 12 and bull. He's considering it. He's not going it. He's treble 10. And that leaves double 16. Match dart missed for Cameron Menzies.
Might have a rabbit's foot in his pocket. Needs a rabbit out of the hat right now for this 142. I don't see no rabbit.
For his first victory over the Frenchman and for a spot in round 4. Cameron Menzies gets it done with one of the best displays we've seen here on stage 2 this afternoon.